Hey guys, Saturday morning. I think it's May last week, Saturday. Just going for a walk, listening to a podcast. Been listening to a few of these now over the last few years, and I notice increasingly a lot of people keep saying that, hey, they don't want the common man to know this because they are suppressing it. They want the common man not to be free. They don't teach sales in school, money management in school, business in school, because they don't want the common man to be free. Then, I remember during COVID time, reading and seeing the news on, hey, they're forcing these vaccines on people so they can control them. Now we hear about Bitcoin or the stock market. Hey, they're manipulating it and suppressing it because they don't want the common man to get rich. And so I always had this nagging question: who is this they that supposedly is so powerful? They are manipulating and controlling everyone. Even all these Joe Rogan and these big podcasters and YouTubers and news people. What's his name? I forgot. Valuetainment guy. I listen to him. We always say they don't want the common man to know this. So I got to thinking, who is this they really? Because if it's the school teachers who is suppressing this information from the kids, I've seen my kids' school teachers. I know school teachers. They're just like you and I. They don't know anything yet. They're just another cog in the wheel, I'm pretty sure. Could it be the school principal? I doubt it. I know my kid's school principal, nice lady, she's got her own problems. Could it be my county school administrator? I've talked to her. She was more worried about losing weight than coming up and scheming on how to keep the common man, from rising up. She herself was less than common, to be honest. So I keep thinking, like, who is this they? Let's talk about it. Could it be the politicians? I don't think so. The politicians I seem to have more brain cells than they do. Right? Could it go all the way to the president of the US, and maybe it's the United States president who is really scheming to manipulate the stock market, and who's really scheming to make sure schools don't teach all that's needed in our education system, who's really scheming to keep the common man just a worker and not a thinker? Could it be Joe Biden? I don't think so. I've seen videos of the dude. He can't climb a few flights of stairs without tripping. So who is this they, right? So I went down this rabbit hole, and a lot of people started talking about, I forget his name, Bob Perot, Bill Gates, Fauci, who knows, right? So everyone keeps talking about the they, but literally I'm trying to find out, who is this they? Is this the deep state that people talk about, but they have no idea who this deep state is? Could this be the 10 families who supposedly control the world? So if you think about it, during COVID, I understand if maybe in one county or one state or even one country vaccines were forced and COVID was not a real, I'm not debating if it's real or not virus, but in every country, every politician, everybody seems to be a cog in the wheel of this whole suppressing manipulation, elite, however you pronounce it, elite set of people who are supposedly ruling the world. I'm trying to understand who this they is, to be honest. Genuine question. If anybody knows in the comments, put it in the comments, please. I'd like to know more, because it all points down to these big guys on top, and I'm thinking the big guy is probably, in any place, the big guy is the guy on the top, right? So if it's my company, it's the CEO. If it's the church, it's the Pope. If it's a country, it's the president, right? So the big guy who's doing all this, is it the president of the US? Or maybe president of China, or the prime minister of China? Z, is that how we pronounce his name? XIZ? Or maybe there's somebody on top of all that. Who knows? Bill Gates? Perot? I don't even know his name. Bob Perot, Ross Perot, whatever his name is. If somebody knows who this day is, I'd like to send them a cold email, find out the agenda, to be honest. Just a rant as I go for a walk. Thank you.